And we are live. Wednesday Night with Those Guys and Wednesday Night with Those Guys are sponsored by Those Guys.
Welcome to Wednesday Night with Those Guys. And this is the live stream where we talk about everything in the drone world and promote the usage of drones. And if the weather is nice where you are, like it is here, extremely hot, please let me know how the weather is where you are and if you've been able to get out and fly your drones today. How are you doing, Lawrence, on this hot Wednesday?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good. Just sitting here, hydrating, drinking water.
Okay.
Evil Box is effing up,
I
but
think we got
that's
up to
another
about
thing.
91 degrees today, which is not
I think
so
so.
bad. It's bad, but it's not so bad.
According to, well, they haven't switched over our AC units. You know, they have a unit in each room. They're supposed to be doing that tomorrow. So right now, technically, the thermometer says
I don't know.
88 degrees.
Because
88 degrees.
Tomorrow is supposed to cool down.
Yeah, tomorrow it's only supposed to be in the 70s. Today it broke 90, though, definitely.
Yeah.
I have this big-ass fan right here behind me, so I'm good.
The last 2 days it broke 90 degrees.
Yeah. Hey, John Olson.
You know, John Olson, what's going on? Yeah, it's been a little warmish, I would say. You know?
Oh, no.
What?
He just did a helix into the neighbor's tree.
Oh, God.
John, when you use those automated modes, it suggested you do it in an open field for that reason. I hope you were able to recover your drone. Seriously.
Or is it
I
damaged?
I hope.
Because the tree is pretty tough.
Were you able to get it back? Was there any damage? What's going on? I hope no damage, and I hope you were able to get it back.
Into a tree. I don't know how high in the tree you
But anyway, how are you doing?
No, I'm all right. I'm just going a little, you know, we had an issue here with some mosquitoes and things here, but, you know, it's worked itself out.
Are you talking about the swamp in the backyard?
Well, not in my backyard, and back over there, and it became a problem for everybody, I guess. But the situation has been taken care of. Yeah, he said yes. Okay. Yeah, but no, I just hope that this drone is all right. I mean, because he's talking, so he's okay. But
yeah. But a helix sounds like one of those automated master shot modes.
Yeah,
yes, the Neo came down, no problem. Okay, good.
The intelligent flight features, I'm not really too crazy about them. I mean, they're all right. They're nice. I like, if I have to fly something, I mean, there are some that, you know, really is hard to recreate. But other than that, I mean, if I have to do an orbit or something like that, I'm flying it manually.
Well, then we come from a time when you could do an orbit or you could do it manually. You know, you had that option. And the manual orbit is always better than the autonomous one.
You always have that option.
Well, yeah, but if you come from a time before drones had those options.
That option.
Huh?
You always have that option.
Well, with DJI, yes, but not with other drones. 3DR Solo couldn't do that shit. There was no orbit. You did your orbits manually.
No, you didn't hear what you said.
What?
You didn't understand what you said. You said you come from a time where you had that option. You always had that option to fly it yourself.
Yeah, that's true. You have a point. He said his Neo came down with no problem. That's good to hear. I hope it's fine.
Yeah. I hope so. Check it out. Do an IMU calibration on it since you crashed.
Yep.
Before you take off again, I would do an IMU calibration.
Change any props if they need to be changed. Check the structure of it, the Neo. Feel around the smooth edges for anything sharp, you know, because that could mean a micro fracture or a chip.
Because I think you would see right away if there was anything going on with the actual structure of the drone itself.
Yeah, yeah, but I've
If
seen
it
some.
opened up in a
I've
seam somewhere.
I've seen some people open the seams up. I don't know how, but really hard crashes
Crash.
on one side. Yeah.
Hard crash. Well, last week, right? We were here, we were talking, and we had mentioned that Autel and DJI and Autel, right, were cleared for firmware up until 2029.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said last week, that's a good thing for like the safety and the fact that we fly. Not just us, but there's other guys out there that fly these drones, not only recreational but for work. And you have to be up to date on your updates and stuff like that. So it is a good thing that we're able to still get those updates, or else it would just really, truthfully, brick these drones and not be
Yeah.
able to get it to fly right, and them being able to work out some of the kinks and the bugs with it. you know. So we did mention that last week. I just wanted to bring that back because I see it up in the news again. I see it still in the news, and guys are still concerned about that. But it is a really big safety issue, that not being able to get firmware updates. I know a lot of people believe that you get all your firmware updates in the first year of having a drone, but it's apparently not true.
This is true.
Because you still get updates to the apps and stuff like that as soon as something new comes out.
Yeah, quick, hold on a second. John Olson and Rob C. Is Herman's audio a little low? Or I'm trying to figure out if it's low or if it's on my end. I need to turn it up. Because if I turn my volume up too high, then my mic starts
Don't
picking up your voice,
turn
and
it up.
you hear the echo, but I can barely hear you.
Because that is annoying.
I
It
can
is.
barely.
It's two
Okay.
of us talking again. Yeah, it's that's hard for me to keep hearing myself talking. We gotta get you some computer speakers.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to mention is the Fly Guys, not the Flyby guys or those guys, but the Fly Guys are back with Elevate Scholarship. This is a good thing because it's they joined with I guess the partner in the program in the scholarship program with the National Center of Autonomous Technology. And the beautiful thing about this is that the kids actually get their Part 107 test paid for by the program. So it's a nice little scholarship program. What do you think?
As far as what they're doing, I mean, it covers that $175. That's what matters. For some people, that $175 is a lot. You
Well,
know,
then they're learning. So
right? But they're learning in a field that will be popular in years to come.
this
You can take that 107 and perhaps use that to apply for your 108
but
because
this
we already know the 108 is coming, right?
no
Correct.
that's not for Part 107 pilots. That's a beyond visual line of sight thing, and that has absolutely nothing to do with the type
I
of
have
work
to.
that we actually
No, I
fly.
have to turn. I have to turn this off. It's like, go ahead.
Yeah, the Part 108 is for beyond visual line of sight. That actually has nothing to do with the drones that we actually fly.
Right now, right. But in order to do anything drone related commercially, you have to have that 107, which will lead to a Part 108 or whatever is to come next, whatever the FAA says we need to be able to fly the 135. I think that's for delivery drones or something to that effect, right? You got to start somewhere with the 107. I mean, that's your foot in the door there.
See what Rob put in the chat?
Just a little low, Lawrence. Just a little low, Lawrence. You were loud. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
what Rob put in the chat about the 108.
No, I did. Let's see, what did he say? Looking for it. No. Just did it here. Oh, Lawrence, the 108 has nothing to do with it with an additional license. So I'm misunderstanding here.
Told you what it was for.
Okay. I
It
have to
was
do
just-
some rate. Isn't Jim's droning said isn't a 108 for companies? That's
Yes,
what I.
yes.
That's a. Okay.
Yes.
Herman has an echo, but if I turn down my speaker,
I don't have an echo. It's Lawrence's end where you can hear me coming back into his microphone.
right. Now I've turned it back down, but then we go back to the issue of hearing you.
We might have to get you some headphones. But yeah, I see that everybody out there now is starting to really, really love that the Avata 360. You know, a lot of guys have gotten it, you know, even in spite of all of the naysay talk about it and the keyframing and editing. I see a lot of guys are starting to jump on it. But you can now pick that up on what? Well, you could before, but on Amazon, you can pick that up for $719 on Amazon to start with. One battery and the nice little pretty controller with the screen, screen. You know, DJI gives you a lot of options. You could either fly that with that or that controller, or with the what's that? The magic wand, or you can actually fly with the goggles on and the little stick, and you get the FPV controller. So I don't know what you think, Lawrence, about that drone.
Well, if you don't get it with the goggles,
Mm-hmm.
I think then you're going to only use it as a camera drone. But if you get the goggles, you can fly FPV with it. You can put it in an acro mode and actually dive buildings with it.
I think it'll fly that way regardless, no matter what you use. I just think that it's another option.
No, you have to put
Why?
it into full acro mode to do that, or else it stays at that horizon, that auto horizon level. Now, you could go over a building and then just descend fast, or you can go over a building and dive it.
Yeah, but your
I
goggles,
would go over
your
and dive.
goggles is not what gives you the ability to do that.
Well, it's
the
a lot
drone-
better
it's
because
the drone
you can.
capability itself.
It's more immersive.
Well, that is true, but I'm just saying that the goggles is not what allows the drone to do that. It's the actual capability of the drone itself.
Jim's droning
I
says,
think it is more.
"Hey Jackson RC, how are you, bro?"
They have more different ways for you to actually get out there and use their equipment as opposed to just having the little motion controller. And you know, whereas that like anti-gravity, everyone is still waiting for them to come out with a physical controller.
True.
I think that
They may not.
The true,
They may.
I
They
think
may
the
not
true
though.
setup for this drone is the goggles with the FPV controller, and neither of these controllers that come with it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's just my opinion. But what do you guys in the chat think?
Jackson RC, a few people have come in. Jim's droning says he loves his 360. I already know.
Oh, okay.
I've seen him
Good.
do some
What's up, Chris?
footage.
You know what, Lawrence? It's about that time.
Okay, for roll
It's
call.
time.
Okay, for roll call. All right, real quick, we'll start out with roll call. Shout out to TYGIM. I can't even pronounce it. Strong. Shout out to Strong. How are you? Welcome back. Wednesday night with those guys. Louisiana Helicam. How are you, sir? I hope all is well. Shout out to you. Jim's Droning. How are you, sir? What's going on? Steve. SJM Drones from across the pond. How are you? Hope all is well with you. John Olson, representing Long Island, Strong Island. How are you, sir? Hope all is well. Aviano Rob C,
Rob.
representing Long Island as well, way out there in Syosset. Okay. Yeah, who else do we have here? Who else do we have? I said everyone. Louisiana Helicam. Oh, Jackson RC. Frank Rizzo. Frank Rizzo and Jackson
We got
RC. How are you
16 people
guys?
watching.
And yeah, well, you know how it is. There are just those that refuse to come in to the live stream.
Oh, that's all
But
right.
it's okay. We still get the hit to the page.
That's
But
all
that's
right.
it.
So you said there was 5 people, 6 people. Wow.
Give or take. Yeah,
You
because
got
in looking here, I'm looking at the people who typed in the chat. You only have 10 people here who typed in the chat. Frank Rizzo, Jackson RC,
okay.
don't count myself,
Yeah,
Strong,
that is
Steve,
true.
John Olson, Jen Strolling,
No, you're right.
Rob
It was-
C. Oh,
yeah.
Angel, the drone guy. He's in the chat. I'm sorry if I missed your name. Get a shout out to Louisiana Helicam.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Yeah, technically 9 because they have me in
No,
that list for
understand.
typing.
Yeah, okay.
And Gary.
And Gary.
And Gary gets an explosion too. Gary gets blown up too.
Dropping bombs over there.
Why not? They doing it in other parts of the world. I'm just saying.
Oh man, you ain't right.
Hey, it's a part of reality. I hope you guys out there are hydrating because in the northeast coast, we're experiencing not a heat wave. It would have to be
But
90
a little
degrees
bit
tomorrow,
of heat.
but it's hot as.
Not a heat wave, but a little bit of heat.
How is it? I'm gonna see if they give you a copyright strike for this one.
No. No.
They're gonna do it anyway.
No.
All right.
There we go.
It's very boring around here. These
So-
guys.
So you know what, Lawrence, what's happened to come up? You know, it's more and more about DJI and what you can't have and what you would like to have and what's come actually some of the things that's out. But the DJI Lito, however you want to pronounce it, XL matches the Mini 5 Pro camera quality. Now there was a test done in Europe on a blind test, I guess a head-to-head test on it, and Drone XL featured a side-by-side comparison by DM Productions, and he compared the camera quality, the specs, and the features on both of these drones, and he was shocked by what you get in for the value of this budget drone, the Lito or Lito, however you would pronounce it, X1. As we know, it launched on April 23rd, I believe that was, of this year. And I guess that starts out somewhere like about 369 pounds, which is roughly about 400 and I guess 90 something bucks here. I don't know. But it's quite interesting that the Mini 5 Pro, you know, and Nate in his review says that the Mini 5 Pro starts out at $689, which is roughly double the price of the Lito. But let me go through a few things that I thought was quite interesting because, you know, many of the features and specs and stuff on these drones are identical for the money that you're paying, whereas you got both of them have the same obstacle avoidance. Both of them have front facing LiDAR, which is interesting. Both have active track 360. Both of them are under 250 gram. Both have the normal color profiles and the D-Log M, whereas that both of them also shoot video in 10-bit color. So you're talking about the Mini 5 Pro also. Well, the Mini 5 Pro has the HGL thing. I think that's one of those features that you like that I'm not too crazy about. They both shoot 4K 60, which is pretty much standard on a drone today. You know, I remember when drones didn't shoot 4K 60. You know, that became a thing with the Phantom 4 Pro. Both have slow-mo,
Hmm.
The Mini 5 Pro has the slow mo at 120 frames per second, which is that the X1 has 100 frames per second in 4K. So now you know both drones have the same flight time of 36 minutes. Both all have the intelligent flight features that we were talking about earlier. Now, when it really comes down to the drone, it comes down to the camera and the sensor size. Whereas that you know that the Mini 5 Pro has a 1-inch sensor, and this one has a 1/1.3-inch sensor. Then you start nitpicking the megapixels
You
from
see what Rob put?
what happened.
The DJI Lito FCC license was approved November 27th.
Yeah,
But we're
we
not
know
getting
that.
it.
We know that. We're gonna get into
Right.
that, Rob. Slow your roll. You know, the thing about the thing is that you know you start talking about the camera, like I said, and you start getting into the fact that what is it? They both have a 24 millimeter focal length, whereas that you can get the what is that 48 millimeter focal length in the what do you call it? The Lito X1. The thing that I think is crazy, you know, you have the two times lossless zoom in the Mini 5 Pro, where you have a digital zoom on the X1. So it all comes down to what you prefer, and I guess for if you're looking at like a mini drone and you're just getting into the game, you can't go wrong with the Lito if you can get your hands on it in your area. But I have a couple of pictures I just wanted to share and let you see the difference in the images. And I mean I saw his images in his comparison, and the thing that I thought about it is that I looked at the images, and you know this, and I've told you this from day one. After we started getting into these mini drones and stuff like that, and we went into the Mavic 3 series. I told you that DJI keeps getting a little bit more contrasty. Now you're seeing like a more softer image in the Lito, where it goes back to somewhat of a softer image and a more. I wouldn't say it loses its sharpness, but but it's because of the sensor size, and you know the dynamic range you're losing by not having the bigger sensor. You know, just look at these photos right here, and these are taken from video. You see where you're looking at the Lito is a little softer in image quality, the colors. You would see it more if you saw like the blues and stuff like that, and then if you see
Yeah.
a smaller sensor in the back, it's a little
It's less contrasty, like you said.
right. You lose a little of that contrast, which is things that you can work in post and stuff like that in editing. There's also a low light photo here, also taken from video, and you see.
Now here, I think the Mini 5 does low light better,
Yes,
and the
because of the
Lito's
size of the sensor.
right, and the light Lito is a little dark, whereas in the center of the photo, there's like a little mini mall area. You can see it on the Mini 5 better than you can see it in the Lito. In the center of the screen,
And that's
that
also
photo.
because of the sensor being able to get that range and being able to grab it and pull it in. That's why I always, and you've heard me say this for years, the bigger the eye, the better you can see. You know, and that's what sets those two drones apart. You know, that's why when it was a no-brainer when they went to a 4/3 sensor, you had to buy that drone. You had to buy the DJI drone when they went to a 4/3 sensor. You just couldn't leave that on the show. I mean, at that time the what was it? The 1-inch sensor had taken a step back. Now, I know what you're talking about, Rob, and we showed this here weeks, months, and several times ago. But in spite of this, you're not going to be able to, well, I mean, there's no actual avenue for either one of these two drones actually be sold. They're not sold here, but the Mini 5 was approved, and if you can get your hands on it, then you can fly it. The Lito, I'm not so sure if we're going to be able to fly that legally here. You might be able to get it.
Right. But will it be legal?
Right, and that's the thing, because I think from what they're seeing, apparently it didn't wasn't authorized before that December 22nd of 25. So I don't know. I thought it was, because we also, when we saw this, we also saw the one for the what was that, the power,
Nice.
the power station for
Yes, yeah.
the Mini, the one, yeah, and that we're not getting either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. We
So,
saw the FCC licensing for the Mini, and we're definitely not getting that shit.
well, I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Because I think there were guys that actually got it, and they don't want to fly it, or they're kind of nervous about flying it because of that issue. I mean, how'd they get it into the country if they if they can't fly it, if you can't have it? I
Well,
thought they were pretty good at that at customs. What, did it come in a Q-tip box?
listen, all I know is if you can get your hands on one and register it, kudos to you. I don't know what's happening. There's some shit is getting through on the FCC list, some shit is not.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm
Can
saying?
you register it?
I
Or
don't know.
Do you have to register it?
Well, it's $250, so technically you shouldn't have to. But
It depends
It
on what
does-
you're doing with it.
what about remote ID?
That's the next question. But
That's the main question. They don't want you in the air if you don't have remote ID of some type or source. Either it be built in the drone or remote ID chip. They don't want you in the air unless you have remote ID and you're aware of your location where you're flying, and you're using lands.
well,
That's what they're catching most people on. Flying
well,
beyond visual line of
what
sight.
what they would be able to mess with you on is the fact that you're operating outside of a FRIA, and then if you're operating outside of the FRIA,
First.
then you can't meet the standards for operating outside the FRIA.
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
would be the only thing that they could catch you on. You know, because you can operate outside of it. It's just that in certain places, and we're going to get into that later, a little more deeper on those.
1 minute till sponsor.
Is that right?
Less. Actually, less than a minute.
All right. Well, let's go to the sponsor, and we can get into the very next story, or the very next topic. For the live stream that talks about everything in the drone world and promote the usage of drones. Tune in every Wednesday night to Wednesday Night with
those guys.
Yeah, those are some decent guys. They kind of know their stuff.
Kinda.
Yeah, a little bit. At least a little bit, right?
A little something, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
They not showing up to construction sites and flying and
From down the block.
from down the block and giving away footage for free like that dude here in New York.
Oh, leave him.
Oh my God.
Leave
yeah.
him alone, please.
He's yeah. Yeah.
I puke when I look at his work.
I get nauseous.
But yeah, so I guess Autel is being dragged through. Well, they've realized now that they're being dragged through the coals like DJI. So Autel
Yeah.
Robotics is fighting back on the FCC's drone ban decision on Chinese data access. Well, listen, Autel, right? Robotics is saying that they are being unfairly treated. which is just like DJI and how DJI is not able to get any new products into the country because they've both been, I guess, put on the FCC's covered list, where they can no longer have any new products coming into the country. And we know this, but what Autel is saying is that there was no evidence that was brought upon against them
Against
to
Autel?
say that their products have any security risk. There was never proven, just like DJI was never proven. So um, both of them were entered onto that list. And I told you, with the way that bill was written, it was deliberately designed for them to do what they normally do nothing, and they're gone anyway. And and my biggest issue with it was the fact that, listening to what the FCC chairman had said, and he made it quite clear that it wasn't so much about just the security clearance, but they want to make sure that the American drone companies have no one in their way. And honestly, as hobbyists here, we have to kind of blame ourselves for this. And I know this is not going to sound good to some of you, and it's going to be a talk on some other stream somewhere. But when you listen to some of the Senate hearings and stuff that was going on out there about drones in our airspace, it was a constant talk about nuisance drones in places where we should not have been flying.
Right.
When we had the issue with the drones in Jersey and no one knew what they were and knew what this was, many guys did a bunch of stories about, their planes and this, that, and the other. But yet, let's be for real, drone hobbyists went out there with their drones to see what they can see to.
Yes, they were. Yes,
All
they
those,
were, because I know some people on social media, Herman, that
yeah,
were bragging about it. I don't know what people are talking about. There were no drones in the area. Well,
mhm,
they're seeing your drone, damn it.
yeah, right. Well, and that's not just there. There's been
Yeah, I know.
other
I know.
areas, guys flying over different places just to get the one up on the next guy. And how I know that to be true is because the federal government themselves they conducted a study. We've been talking about this for years, how they're collecting data, collecting data, collecting data, collecting data, collecting data. And all the data they were collecting was how many of these drones and whose platforms they are. And with
Yep.
over 90% of them being DJI drones, it was inevitable that it was going after the popularity and the capability. You understand? Because if you stop the capability and you stop the popularity, you stop the nuisance drones. I've said that 100 times. I don't care what anybody says about it, and that was what it was. This is the main reason. So yeah, DJI took the blunt of it because they were the most used drone. There was they what? How do I say it? The choice, the number one choice.
And actually, Autel bit the bullet, because technically the transmission systems that are in Autel are supposedly from DJI.
Okay, right. So I
That
mean,
OcuSync system, they just call it something else,
right.
but it's the same transmission system that's in DJI.
And these are the things that really hurt them because I personally think that yes, we've created an issue where they believe it's a national security problem, and it could be because of the capability of the product. But it
Yeah.
was the fact that the product was in the wrong place at the wrong time, all the time, all the time. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's out there flying rogue and doing craziness, but it was happening. We're not going to sit here and deny that it was happening. It was happening. Now, what is this, Jim Jonas, and what's an Autel? Autel makes a very good drone. It's
Yeah.
just that most people got caught up in DJI, and DJI became the name. I remember when we used to go to meetups before a meetup had to be, $1,000 weekend. We used to go to meetups on a Saturday, and we'd get like about a couple hundred guys, right, Lawrence? Or like 70
Yeah.
guys would show up at a meetup. and they were all
We
different
have.
brands of drones.
We've had so many people. At one time, there were DJI, there was 3DR Solo, there was people with racing drones. There were all kinds of custom drones. Remember the guy
Mhm.
brought his custom built drones? Or yeah,
Guys
it
even
was
bought
interesting.
Inspires to meetups.
Yep, Inspires. The Breeze, you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Janine, her first drone when we first met her, she
She had a
flew a
Breeze.
Breeze.
Yep.
Yeah. So there were and an average of every Saturday, Herman, you're right. We had anywhere from 30 to 75. At some places, maybe even at Ward's Island, we had over 100 people. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Because people just came from all over New York. You had people flying down the East River. You had people flying to the freaking Tri-Borough. You had people flying
I don't know
all
what you're talking
over.
about.
We won't go into that trip, but there
The
might have
Phantom
been
was
someone who
quite
flew
capable.
from Ward's Island down to 59th Street Bridge. Reportedly. I don't know. I didn't see it. I heard.
And I still got the footage. That was a nice little trip, though.
Hey, Rob says the Autel Evo was great. My issue is that they didn't put out an update in over 2 years. See, that's where Autel fails and DJI prevails.
Continues to flourish because DJI actually wanted their drone in more hands, and having it in more hands, I think, was like
Okay,
the
Jim.
downfall. What happened with Jim?
He said he got to bounce real quick for a minute, and it might come back.
All right, we're here. We'll be here for a little bit, Jim. Yeah, you know, Autel was really going after them because it's not right. The audits, we all talk about the audits. The audits should have been done on these things, but we knew the audits weren't going to get done because of the verbiage in the bill. You know, once you had an out to not do the audits and still put them on the list,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, were you going to do the
Well,
audit?
Autel has a lot of strong points with this, and you haven't gotten down to that point. I'm waiting for you to get down to the
Well,
section,
Well, if you
where
want
they,
to mention it, you can mention it.
huh?
If you want to mention it, you can mention it.
Okay, well, Autel has a valid point. They're telling the FCC and everyone else that if it's a security risk, it was never a security risk with Autel drones because, for one, their data from their drones were saved locally on the drone and or the controller, and you had the option out of the box to turn on a switch to upload to cloud. So by default, Autel drones saved all data locally to SD card and controller and did not upload it.
Well, so does DJI have the local data mode, and and DJI did. What was it? Well, their stuff was sent to Amazon service. So I don't understand how we all thought that. Well, does Amazon, when you purchase something, is that a national security risk too?
I
Amazon?
don't think so. Also, they do a security encryption for you nerds out there in the software and programming. They use something called either an AES 128 or an AES 256 encryption.
Mm-hmm.
You can Google it, but that seems to be the latest drone protocol for encrypting your data.
Now, did they always do that, Autel, or did that now come about when they started to push more enterprise edition equipment?
I think it had to do when they tried to go enterprise.
When they did
I
more
think
enterprise,
so.
because I
Because
know that
Autel does have a big enterprise, the
right, because
Dragonfly.
the Dragonfly I know has that.
Yes. So,
So both companies,
they
I
see a
feel, have
deadline
the
for the
same
audit,
beef.
but they did not fund it or appoint anyone to head the audit.
Well, Rob, they didn't have to.
Right.
They
right.
really didn't have to, Rob, because the verbiage in the bill said that if the audit
Someone
was
would
done
be
and it
appointed.
found anything that, that's besides the point. That's the additional. Some one of these alphabet companies would be appointed, but they never appointed anyone because they weren't going to, because the bill didn't force them to. It stated that if the audits were done and anything was found, that they would automatically be entered to the covered list without any means of being able to explain or to be able to clear the situation. It
Correct.
also stated that if the audits were not done, that they would be entered on that list regardless. So all
Yeah.
the government did was not do anything
Right.
as normal.
They said, look up and punched you in the belly.
Because it goes back to my initial statement. They just wanted you out of the airspace and out of the way of the American drone companies or the company. See, if you want your drone in the United States, you just have to have nothing to do with DJI and Autel. That's all. That's the bottom line from what I'm seeing. It has almost nothing to do with many of the things that we think it does. They just wanted it out of the airspace. What do you think on that one, Lawrence?
They do. They want anything that was in the way gone so they could do what they want. You see they're testing right now. People didn't believe they were doing drone deliveries. They're testing drone deliveries for medical supplies in New York right now, from Brooklyn and Manhattan. They've been doing it for about 3 weeks, going on a month now.
You know what? The next topic that we're going to get into, we're going to kind of hint on something to that fact in a little
Okay.
bit. Because it's something that came to my attention just yesterday.
Okay. All right. That's what's up.
From Homeland Security. You may hear me and Lawrence talk about Homeland Security. It's not that I'm kind of like
Are affiliated with them or
talking-
working for them or
No,
anything
no,
of the
like,
above.
I kind of, I'm trying to like say that we are got any clout or anything like that. It's just that when applying for permits and flying in Manhattan, there are certain things that you get phone calls on when they have issues with your permit application, and you get calls from different people, either some detective or from someone from the Homeland Security Division, on issues that have to do with your permit. And I got 2 emails, and I got one yesterday that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But what I wanted to mention was,
Hey, Vicky. Sorry.
hey, how you doing, Vicky? Gary, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, Lawrence. So the DSPA, the Drone Service Provider Alliance, they're urging the FAA, there's so many 3-letter organizations, to use this section 2209 NPRM to preempt 25 states drone airspace laws. Now, what I like about this is the fact that they're pushing the FAA to use this long overdue section 2209 rule to invalidate the patchwork of critical infrastructure airspace laws that 25 states wrote while this federal rule sat nearly over a decade without anything being done. And the president of the DSPA, Vic Moss, he laid out 5 points framework that our guys should actually put into their into their docket when before the window closes, because I think the window closes with July 6th of 2026. And preemption is on the top of that list. And the reason why I think that this is important is that anybody that has been watching this live stream knows that Ryan LaTourette has been here. So has Vic Moss. He's been on the stream with us several times. And we were actually working with Ryan LaTourette a little bit to help push preemption different states, because a lot of states actually have these preemption laws that prevent local municipalities from creating such airspace laws and rules and stuff like
Not
that.
New York.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry, I had to slip that in. Keep going.
Well, it's actually, if you're also a member of the those guys Facebook group,
Yeah.
you see that it's pinned to the top of the information on preemption and things that can be done in your state to help fight from local municipalities creating these laws where they have no jurisdiction. And I
Right.
remember it was a couple of years ago, the people in Manhattan wanted the governor and them to step in and be able to fine helicopter companies for all of the noise that the helicopters produced. And the governor said that they had no jurisdiction to place such laws and penalties on, and because that wasn't their jurisdiction.
Right.
But yet, to fly a drone, they allowed New York to come up, and I'm thinking that the FAA was hand in hand with them in this bullshit, in enforcing hobbyists out of the skies in New York City, which if you've been following this channel and this stream, you see that even in China, that is something that is happening too. They're trying to stop drones from flying in the city.
But reckless drones.
Well, no, because they want you to have permits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
want
Like
you to have all of your
like
flight
here in New York.
documented, just like here in New York has implemented this. Now, the thing that came to my attention just yesterday from NYPD and Homeland Security was this now Part 93 SGI waiver that they want you to have. You ready for this one? For conducting operations over water.
Yep. Yep.
Now-
Yep. So the
now-
East River,
Hold on.
the Hudson.
So now, if you want to fly a structure, or you're working on a structure or in a site that's anywhere near the East River or the Hudson River, just so that you do not interfere with any other air traffic that they claim.
Yep. Yep.
See now, we have seaplanes, and now we're going to start having the. And this is crazy because you didn't do this with the helicopters. The sea and the
Right.
void was good enough when we were hobbyists. The sea and the void was good enough until you shut it down, right? Now you think that every pilot is a knucklehead and needs to have a waiver that to be able to conduct operations over water.
So now, if you're caught, so what you're saying is, now if you're caught flying over the East River or the Hudson River, you can get in even more trouble because you don't have that waiver. And then
No.
you got the land take off
No.
and land permit that you're supposed to have.
No, you won't get that permit if you don't have this waiver.
Oh, get out of here. Oh, I misunderstood. Wow.
Right. You
So you
won't-
mean if we get a job,
You-
and if we get a job, but like we're in East Harlem now, if we get a job anywhere along the East River, and our flight path requires that we go out over the water the tiniest little bit
No, near it.
near it.
Mm-hmm.
How much is near? 100
Like-
feet near?
Well, yeah, over the Hudson River, yeah. Because if you remember, they stopped everyone from flying over the Hudson and the East River.
Right, by making it red, a red zone.
So you can now fly in that area if you have this waiver. But if you don't have this waiver, you can't even get the permit.
Wow.
See, so these are the kind of things that we talking about preemption and these cities and states coming up with all kind of stuff. This is all kind of stuff. You know, it's bad enough you can't fly in New York, but even you can't even get a permit if you don't have this waiver, if you're flying over the water. I started to ask him, does that include pools and bathtubs?
What happened?
I started to ask him, does this include pools and bathtubs?
Yeah, right. You're doing a fly through on a house.
Pools, fountains, and bathtubs.
Yeah, someone's pool in their backyard. So you mean like, wow? It's just more. It's just more and more to deter you.
It's more and
From
more.
doing.
It's just more. It's more. Yeah.
You know, every time Herman gets a call, he's like, "Uh-oh, what now?" It's either
more.
that detective or Homeland Security saying something. It's getting pretty to be a pain in the ass.
Now they
No?
emailing me too.
Yeah. So you can't say you didn't get it.
Yeah. You know what, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Let's
It's
talk.
almost that time. We got 5 minutes out.
Let's talk about cameras a little bit.
About who?
Cameras,
Okay.
not Karen. Cameras.
I thought you said, yeah, that's what I said, huh?
No, the new Insta360 Go 3S retro camera blends nostalgia with 4K. Insta360 is hitting you with a little bit of vintage camera nostalgia with the new Go 3S retro bundle. It's the same old camera, I guess, but it's just a fresh look. But it's the what? It's 36 grams. It's a standalone camera that designed for hands-free shooting. You know, you've seen the camera before, I guess. The Go 3S. It's an action cam. Well,
Yeah.
it's on Amazon. If you guys are interested in picking up the camera, you can find it on Amazon. And the bundles start at $279 for the 64 gram, and then the $299 for the 128 gram. So gigabyte storage, I guess, that's on it. So check that out, guys. If you're interested in it, it's a action cam. You remember this one where the little joint pops out?
There are a few, there's more than a few 3D prints for it because some FPV pilots put it on their bird.
Okay.
Supposedly the stabilization is but they usually stabilize stuff on their own, like I do using GyroFlow.
You said
But
the-
because it's a Go series, all you do is turn off the stabilization and put it in GyroFlow, and if you have those butter settings, it'll work good. Because they have a camera profile in GyroFlow, so I can put in DJI 60 frames at 119 frames per second and stuff like that.
Is that right?
GyroFlow will see it.
Okay. I don't know. Insta360 seems to have a lot of cameras.
Yeah, it's what they do. It's what they do. They've had a little peanut style camera for a minute. They were one of the first to have one.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
this
that's
thing here.
yeah. Well, this is the much upgraded, improved version. They're up to a 3S. I remember the
I
first
think-
Go.
I think this is the same old joint. It's just got the little, what they call it, the what was that? The Polaroid color on the striping on it. You remember Polaroid?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they do have different versions. They have an Ultra and something else. So they have quite a few different versions.
Mm-hmm.
Insta360. They have the Ultra. Something called the Luna coming out. I think that Luna is the that Osmo type camera they have.
Right.
They have the 3S. They have quite a collection. Then they have a mic system.
Mm-hmm. I saw
know,
that
so-
on the videos from CES. Let me not forget any letters, because everything is a 3-letter word now.
Very rare for someone to use that in FPV now. Yeah, exactly, because of 04 and 03 units.
Right. The better cameras.
Yeah, because of digital walk snail, I have to mention.
Even
Also,
though-
you can't forget about those. Hey,
even though
welcome,
there seems
Philip
to
Blaster. Hope all is well.
There seems to be an issue now with the 04 units.
Yeah. I'm hoping Justin Drone Camps just put out something related to there's a you can fix it through software and hardware. The software in this video, he says there's a few settings you can play with, PID tunings and stuff like that to lessen the movements of the gyros. For some reason,
Okay.
the gyro's oversensitive.
Right.
So when you go to make a move, it's over calculating or something to that effect. And then there's something with dampening for the camera. Remember the O3 units when they first came out? Dampening was an issue
Right.
with the camera vibration. So they started selling them with little silicone washers and stuff. Yeah. So there are ways around it. Do they work or not? I could not tell you because I only have O3 units, and they're only having that issue with the O4 Pro.
Okay. Did you ever experience any issues with that O3 unit?
With the O3 unit, yes, with the dampening. In the before they did a few upgrades, they did 1 or 2 upgrades, but the dampening, they started selling the cameras with little silicone washers, just to mute that minute vibration coming from the frame, and that seemed to work on most.
Okay.
So yes, it does work. All right. We got 4 minutes till FPV corner. Let me get on.
Know. Yeah. I don't know. Eventually, something's gonna have to break because I'm hearing now that some of these companies are really well. If you check out Drone Camp's latest video, a lot of the companies that provided gear that guys were purchasing, and
Hey, Steve.
some of the companies like when we purchased enterprise stuff from Drone Nerds, the sales are down. A lot of these companies are not making certain products anymore because drones have gotten really a bad eye, because now with this war in Ukraine, it seems like everybody wants to either use them for war machines, or that's what they're being seen as, a tool used as a war machine.
Yes. And that's what's messed up, because a few companies have just said the hell with the FPV world and FPV society, and said we're going to build machines for war.
Okay.
We got 2 minutes to sponsor.
So we're going to get into the sponsor, and we'll be right back with FPV Corner. Dronadeer. If you're Part 107 and you're looking to scale your operations, you just want to get out and do all the work and leave all of the office work to someone else, then Dronadeer is for you. Tools to make you a more knowledgeable pilot. This is where you can book appointments, meet new clients, show off your work. If that's something that you're looking for, then Dronadeer is for you. Check out the link in the description. Dronadeer. It's for you. And we're back.
All right.
So, Lawrence, tell me, who do we have for FPV Corner this week?
Okay, this week we have Wade Wilson, some know him as Dreadpool. I had no idea it was the same person until just recently. We have Wade Wilson coming on FPV Corner. Welcome to FPV Corner. Wade, how are you, man? What's up?
Oh man, I'm doing well. Thank you guys so much for having me on. First of all, I was just, I'm always in true racer fashion. I walked in here, turned on the computer. Charlotte handed me a couple of things, handed me a water, and said, "I think everything's hooked up, good to go." And literally, I hope everything's okay. How is it on your end?
No, pretty good.
You're good, man. You live the life of Riley.
You know what? I'd like to have that when I go fly.
Yeah,
I just show up that somebody has the control, everything is all set up, and they just hand it to me, and I just go fly.
In life and at the shop, what we're finding is if you're a power, like if you have two people, like you always have a second set of eyes, right? Kind of like you guys, man. You got one of you having a bad day, the other one can pick you up, yin and yang, all the fun stuff. But yeah, having another set of eyes, and honestly, like I've got the best partner. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm punching above my weight class.
I'm saying you live the life of Riley, dude, because your wife flies, you fly. I'm assuming anyone else around you flies,
If they're
What?
within a 6 foot radius, they get to hear about it. That's for sure.
Oh, so let people know what state you're from, who who you down with, who you fly with, who your wife is, because we've had her on here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and I see. Oh, this is awesome. I love this platform. Sorry, first time, long time participant, first time caller. Oh, my camera's moving. Sorry. Of course, I've got nothing together. Just like on race day, I've got all these bells and whistles, and I don't have any of them set together. But no. So I'm Wade Wilson. I work at. First of all, we were born and raised in Asheville, North Carolina. So we were born in the beautiful mountains of North Carolina. I got to turn this off, or it's going to make everybody motion sickness. Sorry. It's one of those back and forth. We do anyway. So beautiful, Western North Carolina. I was fortunate to grow up there. One of the most beautiful places. Yeah, I didn't realize there's much of a beautiful place in America. We've been fortunate now to travel all over America, and there's everywhere's beautiful, but home is a little special. We have a lot of folks that come through that area. And so just through drones, I'm now working with my wife is Charlito, Charlotte Wilson. Some of you guys, everybody knows her as Charlito, or the lady on the other end of the 533 phone calls. So when you go, now, of course, Evan, he's busy doing Evan things, and Charlotte's doing the phone call things, and I'm on the sales side. So if you ever have a problem, or if you're trying to do a chapter order or something like that, the guy on the other end of the sales. So we moved.
I wanted to ask you about that, the chapter order. What's going on? How do you go about it? What does it entail? What does it entail?
It's usually a minimum order, a minimum order quantity. It's one of those things. We're one of the other things that we work closely with is multi-GP. I know the ladies. You guys were really smart getting the ladies on here. They're the driving force right now in multi-GP and in drone racing. But our grassroots organization that we utilize and that I'm honored to be a part of is multi-GP. And so we use that to kind of connect with everybody. And that's kind of the vehicle that we use to schedule races and get together. So sorry, but
Okay, all right. Now, I asked everybody this: what do you fly? What do you like to fly? And what do you wish you could fly?
I wish I could fly.
So don't say a Reaper.
Oh no, of course not. I don't. Honestly, I'm in it for the fun. I have so much fun. Like we do it. We're privileged enough to see people that have all different walks of life. We meet folks that are doing cinematography here locally. Armando and his crew help out. They have there's a tourist attraction, Akista, and so he helps the local film crews. They did this really cool like Firefly fly through, like where he was chasing that stuff. So I'm working on my part of our team. My function right now in the team, not necessarily as the team pilot just yet, because I'm still working on my 107. I've been studying. I'm like within the week, man. I'm ready to take the test. It's one of those. It's a confidence thing, right? So once you get to that point, you've taken a couple of practice tests. You're like, okay, I know I got this, but I'm just worried about messing up. So, but as soon I've got a lot of great support with the 533 team. They're all probably in the chat over there. But yeah, they've been.
Want me to tell you something? As far as taking the 107, you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Because think about it this way. When you first looked at that aeronautical map, you was like, ain't no way in hell I'm going to learn all of this, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And now look at you, you're like, I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, and now it's like, so the joke, whoever studies, we've got several folks, and I watch them all. So Brody Hayes is another one. He's one of he's actually our intern that I look up to. It's kind of funny being a 42-year-old man looking up to the 17 or 18-year-old kid now, but he took the plunge. He did he studied Quad Doc, helped us out, and got a couple of Pilot Institute licenses. And so we did the Greg from Pilot Institute. So, I mean, shameless plug for Greg. I mean, I bought it myself and I've been following along. And I think sometimes I remember his quips more than I remember the material. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, Greg's from Arizona when we're going through there, maybe, so but it's, I'm a silly creature. So, but honestly, going through that and then taking those tests and now being able to pass them, I do feel confident. I really do. So, and I highly recommend whatever your flavor is, definitely get out there, study it, make it happen. I'm seeing you guys. It's always a good. I saw your work site videos. It's like, man, I was in construction back in my 20s, and how cool would it have been instead of hammering a nail to be over there flying the drone? Like that would have been a really cool thing.
You don't know.
Yeah, I would have gave everything. Yeah.
You have no idea what it feels like to walk up to a construction site and they're lugging hammers and
Oh, and it's hot,
garbage
and
and
you're
all
walking
kinds
in
of
with your
stuff.
equipment.
And the heaviest thing I lift is my drone and my controller, bro.
That's so awesome. That's
And
awesome.
or my goggles if I
Yeah.
fly
Yeah.
FPV.
And I'm sure, and they're all interested too. Like we see, so on the multi GP side, I'm privileged enough to get to talk to people like, hey man, you know, we try to organize. Just a natural born loud person, I think. So I tend to track, a misfit band of children that are like angry robots. And so we sit in the field with a bunch of grown men. It was a tough sell, to get married. Charlotte used to come. I know she told you guys she was crocheting at one time and coming to the field. But we, organizing those folks and bringing them in, making a community. That's where I think we're making a difference.
Philip Blaster in the chat says he used Pilot Institute in the past. It is
Yeah.
Bob Casey. It is a great course, and I don't know anyone that's taken it that has not.
Yeah.
passed.
No, and that was the feedback I was getting with the shop.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm telling you this. Don't be stressed out because I took it the first time
Yeah.
and I failed it. And I went back 2 weeks later and passed it. And it was all a state of mind.
It was just, I get tripped up because I just read things silly, right? But obviously, if Philip Blasting can pass it, I think anybody can pass it. No, I'm poking at Phil. He's a good friend of mine. I'm gonna get to hang out with him soon. We're going up to IO. If you guys, what part of the country again? You guys are in Philly and Phantom. Where are you at again?
We're in New York.
You're in New York.
We're in New York here. Well, you have to pay $150 to take off and land commercially every time. Every time. Every time, bro. You gotta have Homeland Security. Homeland Security does a background check. Detectives call you and say you left a date out, or you can't use that date, or whatever.
For whatever reason, well, I mean, because you got movers and shakers, yeah. It's
and
nice.
Then on top,
and
then on top of that, with ICE, who has rolling TFRs,
so then you could
they could be doing an ICE raid 10 blocks from us, but their motorcade, which is a rolling TFR, supposedly, is supposed to come through. That could interfere with your work, and you can get into trouble that way. But so be lucky you're where you're at, bro.
Yeah, we worry about the wilderness zones, and we've got several airports here. We're looking up to have several airports, but once you get outside of that zone, it's pretty much Class G airspace everywhere. Except for we have some beautiful, oh my gosh, the most picturesque places you can see, but they're all national parks, so obviously they're protected. But we've got some.
Quick question: what protocol do you use?
So like as far as controlling and so I'm in LRS. So for I do have what's in the bag, I guess maybe so to speak. I for my 107 stuff that I'm looking to work on, I've got a Mini 5 Pro. I got that back when the first price jump happened. I kind of saw writing on the wall. We're privileged enough to see all the things that are happening. When we saw the first price drop, we're like, hey man, we should scoop a couple of those up. I really like it for easy stuff, and I'm still learning that Mavic program or that platform or the Mini platform, the whole ecosystem.
You're still learning camera drone.
Yeah, a lot of air guys came from it from like the photography end, right? So I'm coming from it from just pure. My mom bought me one of those cheap old drones, and I crashed it in the front yard. Found a Joshua Bardwell video, and the next thing you know, I've got a pair of goggles with the zoom in thing, and I'm soldering wires, and they're like, "Where'd the weight go?" And he was like, "Dude, as soon as I saw it, you can see it through the FPV. I got a set of those. You remember the Eachine 100s that looked like you were toilet paper rolled down the hallway? That was me.
It was the description.
I was happy, dude. I was like, "This is the future."
Wait, that was my first pair, and a description Bardwell said. It made me feel so bad. I was like, I got to get a real pair of goggles. He said if you were to take 2 toilet paper tubes and put a stamp at the end, that's exactly what the goggles look like, bro. Because you had a little tiny screen at the end.
But they were like $100. Like you got to give it to them. They were $100. One of the funny things, being in the community and getting to see everybody. So you get to see the equipment twice. So you get to see it when it first comes out, and then you get to see it after somebody buys it off Facebook Marketplace. So I've ran into several pairs of secondhand Eachine, those, and then. But now, listen, if you see a pair of 800Ds, let me know. Those things are gold. The box ones that you kind of take off the one section, those are really tough. But funny. That's how OG, I guess. My first race was back in 2018, so I'm not as That was maybe.
Yeah, I was going to ask how long have you been racing? So you've seen the evolution of
A little bit,
protocols, drones, cameras, everything,
yeah, no,
motors.
it's been awesome. When I first started, I think we were running Clean Flight and I still if what's it the gentleman from Australia, if he ever comes stateside, I'm giving him a kick in the shin. That $100 bill that he had, what's his Stu from UAV Futures? Yeah, I'm kicking
Yes.
him right in the shin. Oh, good day, Stu. Here you go. So, because I tried that $100 bill and I probably spent $200 in motors because I burned every one of
Dude,
them up. I was sitting there with
he got me too.
well,
He got
I had a plumber soldering iron because I don't know if you guys know it, but I'm a hillbilly. So like I had one of those plumber soldering iron that they sweat pipe with, and I was over there, just going at it with rosin core solder from Home Depot that I was like, it's good enough. You spit on it, and like I had no clue. It was like the worst builds. And so so everything I touched blew up for the first little while, and
I brought that $100 build. It was a $100 build. It was $99. Supposedly, you get these 4 cheap motors. You get this
Racer Star,
paper light,
models,
ultra light frame, and it had nerve to have little metal bumpers on the end.
Oh yeah, that's gonna protect you from a crash, right? Yeah.
The first time I landed hard, one of the arms fractured, and I was like, "This is too much, man." So I don't feel too bad. I went through a lot of trial and error too.
I have. I think I've settled into a durability testing role here at Fly 533. If I can do a shameless plug, that's a can right there.
What is
I
that?
love
The
this
Firefly?
No, so this is air version. This is our cam bam. Let me get in here and be an idiot real quick. So this one we just opened the box. We've got some pre-production units. We're making sure quality is good on, and then we've done some pre-sales or whatever. But this is Cam Bam. Mr. Quillette, we were very good friends with Ryan Q Quillette from HD0. I don't know if you guys know him, but they come out with this. This is the AIO 15, right? So this is the 15 amp AIO. So it's a little bit too small for our tiny trainer. We were hoping to use it for a tiny trainer platform, because that's our bread and butter, right? That's I've got one somewhere around here. Anyway, we got some tiny trainers these. Anyway, shameless plug. Sorry, guys.
Quick question. Quick question. I'm not into racing. Oh, I was looking at that drone, but first of all, the one you just had up, right? I'm not into racing.
Yeah.
Is there a standard weight class that you have to fit in when racing?
So if you're like this little guy, or are you talking about the tiny trainer?
Yeah, like the smaller guys, the smaller ones.
The little guy, we're just coming out with this one. This is our freestyle, just have fun. We've got a little backyard. We just moved into a rental over here. We moved the family over, and so it's just me, Charlotte, the dog, and the cat, right? So it's kind of an easy move. But we've got a little yard out back, and this thing, like the tiny trainer. It's just a little much, right? So if you're in the backyard, it's just a little too much.
By the time you get halfway up the speed, you're there.
Kids, our dog loves it, but she also, when she catches it to the face, that's your fault, honey. That's how you got to be. You can't be like, oh God, because it's a flying blender, and she'll take it. She's got about a 36-inch vertical for a pit bull. She does pretty good. So for a 50-pound pit bull, let's say, she's
really
in a 30-pound frame. Listen, Mama Wilson thinks it's good over here. Charlito takes care of us. But so this little guy, honestly, this last weekend we went to the the Raptor race hosted by Oak Grove. That was a multi-GP event. They had a big race. It was put on. And we got to visit our friends Kyle and Tila. Thank you guys so much for letting us just crash on your couch. And she made up a beautiful bed and cooked us a 5-course meal. So crashing on our couch, that's pushing it a little bit. Miss Tila, she takes care of it.
I was going to ask how was the weekend, because I remember hitting you up and you was like,
we were super busy, but we had a little spot of pine trees, and so we got Tila and Callie, the fastest woman alive. You've had Bumblebee and Tila both on, so they were ripping this thing around. So Charlotte had hers, I had mine, because these were literally there's 4 in existence, And so until we get the production models out, and they were like, okay, feedback, like, okay, here, tune this, tune that. This sounds good. I love this. But so there were some kids playing, and we felt comfortable enough to, hey, over there you can fly. Over here, right on top,
Right.
landing and stuff. But there's no way you could do this. And then the wind down there, it was too windy for like a whoop, like even a 75 millimeter. It
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
blowing it right out, because they're in eastern part of North Carolina, where it's like the land of the pine trees and windy conditions, unfortunately. But we had a good time. We were able to do the GQ. I don't know if you guys do keep up with that, the global qualifier, which is like our leaderboard for us racers. Basically, we set up the same track all over the world. Last year, the champion came from Japan, Yuki. I think
Okay.
or maybe one of the last couple of years. But we all set up the same track. We run the same track, and everybody does the same thing, post their time, and have a good time. So,
I wanted to show real quick one of your videos. I picked.
oh Lord,
I
I'm
went
sorry, I didn't get
I,
the best
I went
DVR,
to
but
your
whatever you
dread
pick,
pool.
I'm better at
I went
talking
to,
than I am flying. I promise.
okay, well, I want you to talk over this video, because the first one I want to show real quick is the
Yeah.
Mars Hill University Sports
Oh,
Complex.
awesome. Yeah. So,
What's behind that? How did that come about? I'm going to start the video up now.
honestly, I
You
went home. Yeah. No, thank you so much for the plug. I think I
go
probably have
for it.
some. It's supposed to be royalty-free music, but yeah, this is my my shameless plug at trying to get some hometown work. Like I said, I live in the most beautiful part of the United
Dude,
States.
there's
And I
no
think
such thing as a shameless plug when you're trying to make money.
right. Well, so like I said, I am right there. Getting that 107 within the next couple of weeks. So this was hey, I stopped in. I honestly, it was empty campus. The students were out, obviously. So did the pre-work, did the walk around, made sure no one's around, nothing's going on. All right. As a recreational pilot, I felt the need to go ahead and just give that a rip and send it on over to the good folks at Mars Hill. And hopefully they can use it. And if they do, think of me in the future. That was my thoughts behind that, to be honest. I'm not a really big freestyle pilot, but I'm trying to get better. That's one of the skills that I'm trying to learn. Because what you guys are doing, like if you're doing cinematography or just trying to show somebody else's drone footage, the
Well,
herky
this is pretty.
jerky racing and stuff. Yeah.
This right here. What you did was very good,
Well,
and I'm
thank you.
going to say very good because of the simple fact: if you saw some of the crap that people are putting out, you know
Yeah,
how to
well,
do. You know how to do a reveal. You reveal the name. You know how to reveal the field. These are things that don't come naturally.
thank you.
So
I appreciate it.
think about that, and trust me, Herman. When I met Herman, how many years ago? 9 years. Almost 9 years ago. We're gonna say 9. Okay, just off the top.
Actually, it's going on, about 9, going on 10.
Okay, he met me and he said, "Look, I fly drones. I went to school for camera work and stuff, and only thing I don't know how to do is edit."
Okay.
And I showed him. I said, "I'll show you what I know, but that's all I can do." And now he's the Martin Scorsese of us. If there's camera drone footage, I don't worry about it. Let him have it.
Yeah.
You know. So you got to have a natural knack for stuff like that. Like
Well, thank
this
you. I appreciate it.
here.
I'm privileged to be. We've got a big team at Fly 533, and I've been around a lot of top pilots. Being with everybody, you get to see their flight footage and how they put their DVR together and all the different styles. And so I'm in a privileged position, and like even Charlotte, like she does, like everything. Our entire team, it's competitive, but it's that supportive competitive where it's like, I did this and now I'm going to do that, or you're going to do this. And like Charlotte with her voiceover with the builds is like, oh, dude, we didn't even know you could do that. And so like, her and Brody are in this competition now. I do better videos. No, I do better videos. And it's we all make each other better. And so thank you for the feedback.
That's
one of the
good.
skills
That's
I'm
good.
trying to learn. Those guys are showing me like how to do that. So that's good. Thank you.
Well, one thing you have a strong camp. You're in a strong camp. You have people behind you, and that's most important. We're trying to do anything or any type of business. You know this well
Oh yeah.
over the
Oh,
years.
yeah.
This video here, California Creek Baptist Church.
Oh yeah. That was so Charlotte.
Explain that,
So
because
Sean and I,
this
we were
was
getting
another
ready.
reveal.
Yeah, so this was me just practicing. This was with a Pavo back in. This is one of my very first just attempts
Pavo,
at.
which one? I have the Pavo Pico
It
and the
was the Pavo
25.
Pico, and I think I've cobbled together a couple of different things with it, but it's pretty close to stock, Pavo Pico. But it was the
Okay.
25. I guess is that the Pico, the one that's 25 mil, I guess.
Yeah, they have a
But
25, a 30. I have the
yeah, so it was
25
this.
and the Pico.
Yeah, it was a 25. This is like I said, this is home, so this is where we kind of grew up. We used to Charlotte and I getting ready for IO before we even started working for 533. This was our test field before we would go to races. So, and these gracious people never charged us a dime, let us fly in this beautiful field, and I used to rip this creek right here, like I was it was the Star Wars, the scene.
The
Like
Death Star.
this is what got me into drone racing. Like I thought, like man, I can do. Like I said, I'm just a hillbilly with a toy. I have no idea about the camera thing or the exposure or like Brody's always like, you got to do the 180 rule. I was like, listen, dude, I had a public education, man. I am doing the best I can here. So I enjoy flying and I enjoy and they, everybody has tips and they're like, hey man, one of my best buddies saw that Marcel video and was like, hey man, you should change your shutter speed to this. And that's the great thing about the community, right? Kind of like here,
Well,
Charlotte
see,
and I.
those are tricks. Those are tricks that you pick up along the way, and you
Yeah.
got the main part down, and that's the flying.
Yeah, well, then it's a beautiful spot, and you know how it is when it's your home spot. You've flown that, and you know where the good lines are. This
Yeah.
just happened to be the one run I didn't hit a squirrel, So you only put I don't, if I ever did a crash reel, I'd have mountains of footage to go through.
Oh, I'm quite sure, but I've started collecting a folder
Yeah,
of
that's
of
the FPV fun.
crashes that I have, and trust me, I should get paid for them.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope
And
so.
I don't crash, and I don't crash much, but I do crash. And
When you guys crash, it's expensive. When we crash, these things are made, are zigzags. That's one of the things, we're continually making better. Like we started out with the frame that had polycarbon up here.
I remember
So the
the
guys,
cover
everybody said, "Hey man,
frames.
this break in the middle." It's like, all right, boys, you try to break this dang thing, all right. So this is the next version. I'm sure Charlotte showed the zigzag. So
Yes,
it's got the
yes.
top plate that's carbon. This little we're using tire weights because it's a spec drone. So this is a spec drone, kind of like NASCAR. You have to meet your spec. But this
Right.
is the wave of the 3-inch, right? Or the 3-inch racer. These little guys, this is the funnest thing on four
What
blades
camera
for
system?
sure. Yeah, I'm using on this one. Let's see, I've got a mixed bag. This one's analog. So honestly, we've got, and that's another thing in racing. 99.9%. And if Ryan Quillett would send me a T-shirt, I'd wear it. Most of us are preferred HD0, right? Always preferred HD0, but every now and then there are a few instances where you want to do analog. Whoops come to mind. HD0 has made huge strides in that, but now every now and then I still want to get some analog in. One of the places that we race is a gymnasium, super rough RF environment. So every now and then everybody's on HD0. Let me try
Yeah.
analog. If I can see clearer than they can, sucks to suck, and especially when it's your wife and like, oh, dude, she's so good, and she's come on so strong, and so we compete, and it depends on who. We always race for who drives home, and I hate driving, and it's probably I'm a menace to society, so I hope I
Lito
keep winning.
says you live and breathe drones.
I don't know that I
Lito,
breathe.
please
I
believe.
live it, man. Like I said, anybody in a 6-foot radius. We were at the grocery store, and firemen out there, and I'm like, "Hey, boys, come on over here. I was like, you want to check out a fire? Check this thing out, man. You want this? Like anywhere I'm at now. Obviously, it
You know
behooves us
what?
to.
You're doing the right thing. Get that 107,
Yes, sir.
and I call it whoring myself, because anyone that even asks, "What is that?" Oh, you done messed up now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because and
You
I
done
was
messed up
doing.
now.
The funny thing is I was doing that before I figured out. Honestly, we'll figure out how to get paid with it one way or another. It's like, but I would do that at our local races, and that's kind of why it just made sense for us to kind of start working with 533 and move our whole move our family over here, because this is what I do. To figure out to get a paycheck to talk about drones. Are you kidding me, boy? I'll sign me up 3 times. I'll be there at 6 a.m. And I am. We're there at 6 a.m. and we'll do this till about 10 o'clock at night. We'll get up with a big smile and do it again.
Well,
And
listen, I would like to I would like to have you back on maybe around the holidays to pop in
Absolutely.
and say happy holiday or something
Oh,
like that. So
yeah.
I'll
Anytime you
let
guys
you
want.
know. I'll let you know way in advance. I want you to shout out. I'm not going to ask if anyone want to shout out because if you don't shout out
You'll be here all day.
Charlito,
Sorry. What time's
if
it
if you
close?
don't shout out Charlito, she's going to throw something across the room, and I don't want to see that on camera.
Oh yeah,
So
no.
then shout her out first, and anyone else, your crew, the people you work with, the people that have supported you, give them a shout out.
Yeah, no. I mean,
While
obviously, you hit the nail on the head there, Lawrence. You know, you've been there. I'm getting married vibes, or been have a significant other at home. We neither one of us would be anywhere without the other. I really am a lost puppy dog without my wife. She steers the ship, and I'll do the rowing. The guys at the shop call us Master Blaster, and it's very fitting. And every now and then when I get mad, I'll say, "Who run Town?" And she says Master Blaster, because we make a damn good team. There's nobody else that could. I mean, more enthusiastic. We both get up, live, breathe, and I get to be with my best friend every day. So a big
so
number one shout
what
out.
more can you ask?
Yeah,
What more
I
can
mean
you
that's
ask for?
so we're Team Wilson all the way through, and of course my mom and dad. That I was never meant to leave our small little hometown, and now we're doing this. It puts a lot of stress on them too, and they're helping us out. And so thanks to our family, and of course our friends. Kyle and Tila. Tila got actually made the introduction here. I think she opened the floodgate for everybody here, and introduced us to you guys. And now I'm and what's one of those things, she inspires us a lot of times when she's learning. Because you're teaching people, right? And I feel good when I'm teaching somebody, and when we're teaching, like Kyle and Taylor are always teaching us, and we're teaching them, and it's like, oh, this is so much fun. So our friends like those, all the FPV friends out in the chat, for real, I know you guys are out there and you're going to support us, and we love you guys. Amidst the FMV, if you guys are looking to train or get better, Multi-GP is the best place, the grassroots organization to learn to connect with other pilots in your area. It'll be on Facebook, but it's Multi-GP, just like the multi-rotor. It's multi-rotor. That's a great website to connect with local pilots. There are chapters in your area. So I'm the regional chapter organizer for the Southeast region. There's all kinds of stuff that we're going to be putting on. So definitely check that out. And part of that is the FMV folks. They do simulator. So before you go to your first race, get a couple of races on the simulator, jump on there, and Phil, definitely go to IO. Come to summer camp for nerds, because it's the best thing ever. If you guys are in New York, if you're within 12 hours, dude, hitchhike, whatever you got to do. You don't have to buy a ticket to come hang out, to come see drones. If you don't want to fly, you volunteer or hang out, see everybody. Ticket, you just come in. It is amazing. I'll be here all day telling you about it, but you go look at it. Multi-GP International Open. It is the best event. If you're going to go to anything in the whole year, take your week of vacation to go to IO, and then take your second week of vacation to rest after you get home from IO. That's
damn.
It's that good of a time, I promise.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming on FPV Corner. Now you got to get the next guy from your crew. But before you put him in contact with me. You know how to contact, but I want to get your people. It's because of you, Charlotte, Bumblebee, that I've actually started back on my simulator.
Awesome. We'd love to get you going.
I seriously have started running through gates, not to accomplish anything, but it's making me a better flyer because I did some daring shit this weekend, bro.
Oh, and if I didn't it gets you going, doesn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did proximity. That proximity gets you. It's like, ooh.
Wait, I'm going to tell you one thing before I let you go.
No, yeah.
I did a dive under some trees. Yeah. After I came out, I had to sit on the ground for a minute and say, damn.
Let's go.
That was nice. And then I came back through again. I flew through. So
you get that.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much. And anything you need, let me know. When it's time for your next bird, you let me know. I'm on the other end of sales. Both of you guys now, whatever you need. We like to do them custom, fast.
And show off that 533 shirt real quick.
Oh, yeah. So we got merch. I'm as big as a billboard. Now, listen, if we got I'd like to have a Those Guys shirt, too, because now I'm as big as a billboard. I only wear FPV shirts. We
will make that happen.
Yeah, I know no more steel-toed boots and no more collared shirts unless I'm talking out of school and it says 533 for Wade. That's my new goal next 40 years of my life. No more steel toes and no more goofy collared button down shirts because
Good
I'm not
luck
really
in your
built for them, guys.
good luck in your ventures, bro.
Thank you,
Seriously.
guys. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
We appreciate
Thank you,
that.
man. We appreciate you, Charlito. Thank you again for letting me have hubby on, and
I
get
hear
me
it
the
in there.
next guy from your crew. I'll
Oh
have
yeah, no.
all your crew on
Honestly,
here.
like if real talk, like I would really like to give a big shout out to Brody Hayes. He is an amazing young man. He is only 18 years old, but he is an inspiration to me. Getting his 107, working, he works at the shop. He drives an hour to school. He really truly is a good kid, and I think he's a good one because the youth are the ones that we're trying to talk to, right? Like this is my hobby. These guys, like Brody, he's building skills that he's building. He's gonna be able to build an organization on, much like you guys. He's building business sense and he's doing things like that. So if it's okay, I'd love to send you Brody's contact information. He's a better guest. He's got better personality than I do. He's air
Oh, stop, man. You did
no,
fine.
really, truly, he's air personality higher. Like this kid, get ready, get strapped in and buy a helmet because he's.
I will,
We
man.
love
I
him.
will. You enjoy the rest of your evening, man. Okay. We appreciate you,
All right,
and
awesome.
thanks for
Thank you,
coming
guys.
on FPV Corner, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
We really
Thank you, man.
appreciate you.
Okay. See, that was fun. That was fun. Now we're a minute into sponsor, so I apologize for that.
Well, let's get the sponsor and let's get to going. Clover FPV Systems. If you're interested in an interchangeable VTX system, then at checkout use those guys for 15% off on any of the Clover systems that you can use interchangeable from any drone to your fixed wings, your birds, even your RC cars. So check it out. I love it. Lawrence loves it.
Yes.
Jump
Yes,
on
I
it.
do. I'm sorry. I'm just leaving a comment real quick. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Yes. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Okay.
And to actually speak to someone who's been doing it for racing for a while, building for a while, the technology must have changed at least 6 or 7 times since you know that from when we were talking about the E-Sheen 100, the E100s, the E-Sheen goggles. Trust me, technology's changed. It's flipped and flipped back, then flipped over a few times, and then flipped back. What
Well,
we got, Herman?
what we have coming up now is the good old FCC has added more drone exemptions to the covered list drone ban. New FCC notice. Well, they're expanding the covered list. I guess the approval of those who are exempt from this. That on the foreign drone systems, the exemptions for from the agency's broadband covered list. The FCC covered list, like I said, it continues to evolve in a public notice on May 15th. The FCC Public
Yes.
Safety and Homeland Security Bureau announced that several additions to uncrewed aircraft systems and routers that have router platforms recently conditionally approved from the Department of War. I don't know. The FCC is going through a situation right now where they find. Well, I guess the government itself has found that the FCC is the easiest way because, as we spoke on this before, tariffs and stuff like that didn't hurt some of these quality made products. So going after them with the FCC was probably the best way to go because now we can just remove your ability to get radio signal. Like I said, these things they deal with products that either send or receive signals.
Yeah.
So they're expanding the exemptions. That could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. But I guess the only way to be exempt is not to be to have anything to do with DJI or Autel. So that would be your best route into it. You know, the stuff that's on your, you know, products that meet the criteria for countries of the sourcing products of countries that are approved by the United States, which helps you with getting your product into. And we've even seen exemptions made for products that have Chinese-made parts in it. So it's not so much about the Chinese-made parts. It's just what it is when it comes to foreign-made drones. It's not foreign-made drones. It's DJI and Autel.
Right. It's DJI, and Autel fits in. I said earlier, Autel fits into that category because they use the DJI or one of DJI's transmission systems.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know.
You know, it's funny. You know, when you want to do something the right way, you source products and you source knowledge from the right places. And I think DJI did that a long time ago when it came to the transmission systems and stuff like that. And now the companies like Autel is damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know,
Yeah.
you get in on the ground floor of something that's good, and look at what happens to you. And actually, what it was, let's look at the OcuSync systems as even with the Lightbridge systems. Those were systems that were purchased from someone
That's
to be able to
they
use.
still work today,
And
right?
yeah, they do. And now you talk about security risk and stuff like that from products that have been going on for quite some time. So I don't know. It is what it is.
And give me a second. I have to close this window. I didn't realize it's raining on my router.
Oh yeah, it is raining a little bit out there because they did say it was going to come down. But yeah, the list is expanding as well as the ones that are approved. You know, there has been several additions, like I said, of uncrewed aircraft. When they say uncrewed, meaning like unmanned aircraft systems, like drones, as far as they mean uncrewed systems. But also
Yeah.
now, if you remember, we did a story where we talked about how they were starting to add routers to the covered list, or some of these routers are being approved now. Router platforms, yeah, they're being exempt from the list.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was curious,
Yeah,
and
we
I
were
had wanted to
talking
see.
about that before.
Yeah.
About some of them that you were talking, you mentioned that you checked out a few of those sites on some of these products.
Yes, on not the Air 6 systems, that one, but the one that you had spoke about before. No, wait a minute. Let me see. Was it the
Well,
Air
Air
6?
6 systems.
Yes, it was the Air 6 system. I was looking at it on YouTube, and it's an agricultural drone.
Hmm.
So when everyone was saying they take DJI from us, we won't have this type of drone, we won't have that type of drone. If you're noticing, I'm seeing a pattern where DJI is not able to show up. Now we have agricultural drones. This is one of them is a spraying drone. One of them drops seeds, just like DJI. Does it have the same reliability? I don't know. I don't own one, but we're getting what we asked for.
Hmm.
You know, so people that are stuck with the people that have the agri drones can still use them.
Hmm.
And as far as future agricultural drones, you should be able to find something to suit your needs here in the United States now.
Well, you know what's funny? We spoke years ago here on the channel of drones that were being used here in the United States that are built here for seedlings that they were using after like forest fires and stuff like that to revitalize forests and stuff like that. Yeah, and these drones can drop seedlings. This is not nothing new. It's just that the more popular drones are the ones that people talk about, and this is why
Yeah.
here at Wednesday night with those guys, we pride ourselves in being able to talk about everything in the drone world and not just the drones that we fly, but for the technology and the capability of the product that we love so much is drones. And it's not only about the next Mini or the next Mavic series. There are
True.
drones out there that are doing wonderful work that are being made here for years. It's just that it's not popular. They're not the popular drone.
Yeah, yeah. For example, you mentioned that you thought the 3DR Solo was the drone to get, right? Because
Well,
there,
because
there were
in
so
the
many of them.
beginning, there was so many of them.
Right, right. In the beginning, when we flew, either you were flying DJI or 3DR Solo. Those were the two main drones that people were flying. Now,
Actually,
were
those
there
were the
other
only two
drones?
that was capable.
Right,
And then
with
Autel
GPS.
stepped
We're
up.
talking GPS drones.
And yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
with a reliable return to home and reliable autonomous features.
And then Autel stepped up.
Yep, yep,
You know?
yep, exactly.
So
So,
we've been around a long time. When I tell you that it's going on 10 years that I know Lawrence, we're going back to Phantom 3 days.
Phantom 3 Pro. Phantom
You know?
3, yeah.
So guys that and they say, like, I remember somebody told me, but you guys only do live streams. Well, I was doing videos before you knew what a drone was.
Yeah, yeah. And here's something funny, Herman. You talk about the Phantom 3. I remember a guy I met. He was like, yo, you know this vlogs? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yo, I got my drone in my bag. So I was like, okay. I said, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just sitting here, doing some paperwork. I was like, oh, so you get paid for this? He was like, well, I work a few jobs, but he was doing real estate. Herman, he had a Phantom 3 Pro, right? But one of the arms was busted off. But he still had it. And he said, this is what I do. He said, the stabilization is so great. I walk through the house like this, holding it, the drone, and nobody knows the difference.
Okay.
He says, I showed him the bag, the drone in my bag. And yes. And then when they leave, he says, when they leave, I pull the drone out, I shoot, and I put it back in the bag, and I process the work, and I give it to him. And I was like, wow.
It just wasn't a 1-inch sensor.
Exactly. But that's how far back I remember going, because he used it in real estate before people were flying around. But unless you had a double door, you wasn't flying a Phantom in an average doorway. You understand what I'm saying? So back then, people would take the props off of the Phantoms and walk through the houses. And he said that's where he got the idea from.
Okay.
What happened? Jody. What did he say, right? What's in it? Oh. I see, he said, I have did that for a long time with the Inspire. See? See? And why not? Hey, Ronnie, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on?
And it was quite common in the world of real estate and indoor jobs. Take the props off and walk around with that heifer. The stabilization was great. You could do everything but a slow jog. You could do your speed ramping. You could come up on things and back away and pull away like you were in a rolling chair.
You know what, Lawrence? I wanted to tell you. A thermal drone, right, was used.
Bet it was DJI.
Thermal drone finds a 91-year-old Wisconsin, a person in Wisconsin in the woods at night. Well,
Okay.
on May 5th, the Portage County Sheriff's Office deployed. You ready for it, Lawrence?
Yeah.
DJI Mavic 300. with
Oh,
thermal
no
camera.
way.
Yeah, yes way. With the thermal camera to locate a missing 90-year-old woman that walked away from the, what do you call it, residence facility where she was staying. And they, within a few minutes of the actual call that came through, I think around 9:45 p.m. in Wisconsin. They were able to deploy the drone, and they were able to find the woman who had wandered off, like I said, from the facility where she was a resident. And I have actual, an image from the thermal camera that showed
Yeah.
the relations to the facility and the creek and the road where she was actually found. And they found her pretty quickly, believe it or not.
Yeah, and not far from where she was. They
Right.
just had no idea.
You see where she is in relations to the facility and the road and the creek. So
Yeah.
it's actually good because she was actually wandered into the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and without the capability of the drone. I'm not saying that it had to be a DJI drone to do it. I'm quite sure that that Autel or even the Skydio drone may have been able to do this.
True.
But it's the fact that these drones have been consistently used for good and saving lives. They've been saving lives for years now. And I don't think that saving lives is a national security risk. I think that that's
Yeah.
an actual good thing. And I've always said that if needing to see the footage that I take on vacation, which is what most people use these drones for, is to take them on vacation and being able,
Mm-hmm.
unless you take a cruise and the cruise line doesn't allow you to bring your drone with you, then have at it. My Bahamas footage. No, I'm just joking, but no. This is another example of drones for good, where drones have been used to save lives, and once again, is DJI at the forefront. And that rain's coming down out there.
Yeah, thunder too.
I guess that's what happens when you get the heat and the humidity. But yeah, this is another example of drones being used for good. Here's a look at the drone that was used. It's the Matrice 300 with the thermal camera and the little spotlight. This is the same drone that the fire department has.
Yes.
Well, actually, they have
Yes.
the 400. But it's very similar. It has some of the same payloads and up-to-date payloads. I don't know what you guys in the chat think, but what do you think about these drones? Like I said, we're going to lose a platform that has been used for years, that has been saving lives and doing good work here in the States, to political reasons and what they claim is a national security issue. But we know, like I said, from listening to what the chairman of FCC says, no, we just wanted the drone out of the way so as that it's not an economical issue for the American drone platform, so they can create their dominance. Because if you continue to buy that, then you won't buy this.
Yep.
You know, that's basically where that is. So, what do you think about that one, Lawrence?
I like the fact that several law enforcement agencies refuse to use anything else.
Right, especially we mentioned was that Houston Police Department. They continuously using their
They said from
PPIs.
day one, we're not switching. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll worry about it when we have to fly something else.
And they actually got into the Matrice series, the 400. They went all in with the Matrice series. So they're using it just like the same ones that are being used in Canada.
Yeah.
You know what I wanted to mention to you, Lawrence?
What's that?
It seems like every time I start getting into looking at drone news and looking at some of the stuff that comes up in the drone news, it used to be that we would have articles that would come out and you would see 4, 5, 6 articles come out about things that are being done. Oh,
Wow. Wow, I heard that. That's coming my way.
things that are being done with drones, and then you would hear about them trying to do drone delivery. But it seems like every week there's another drone delivery story.
A
And
company, we're doing more and more of those
happening.
because it's coming real.
Right, and it's everybody's doing it now. And no, I shouldn't say everybody's doing it, but it's happening more and more, even in places where I personally felt that it wasn't going to happen. But
You mean like from Brooklyn to Manhattan? Like I thought that. I thought we would never see it.
see, if it's been, honestly, I knew that that was going to be something that they would try, because if it was being done in Rwanda and in Nigeria and other places with Zipline, then I'm quite sure that they were going to try it here, because even the first drone delivery stuff that was done here with Dr. Gwen over at WakeMed. Remember, that
Yeah.
was the first one with Matterport. Well, not
Uh huh.
Yeah, Matterport. They were the first ones with drone delivery and of medical supplies and blood
Yep.
samples and tissues and stuff like that, and that was a good thing. But I just wanted to mention that Taco Bueno, right? They're bringing Zipline drone delivery to Texas consumers, or customers, I should say. The Texas-based fast food Taco Bueno is they've jumped into the drone delivery movement just like everybody else, teaming
Yeah.
up with Zipline to bring fresh Tex-Mex. I don't even know if that sounds right. Fresh Tex-Mex meals to customers by air, believe it or not, because they're going to be using the Zipline Platform 2
Yeah.
to residents that live within 3 miles
That's
of
not bad.
the Taco Bueno North Beach Street location, and this is in oh boy, what is this, Washington, Texas. I can't pronounce that part of Texas. I guess I'd have to live there to pronounce it. But yeah, uh, they're going to be using the drones. They're going to be using the same system that Wally World uses, the Platform 2.
Mhm.
I got a little video if you want to look at how Wally World does it. Uh, when I say Wally World, we all
Of
know Wally
course.
World is Walmart, right?
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you who don't know who Wally World is,
Well, check this out.
yeah, this is the system that they plan on using. Um,
The
we've
Platform 2.
also done stories about that drop box with the control rudder. It keeps it from spinning out of control.
Mhm. This was
Self-charging stations.
this was sent to me via one of my admin in chat, Angie.
Okay.
She sent me this video.
And then this is it docking the charge. Those are the charging stations. That's crazy, yo.
Nice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just have somebody that puts the package in it, and it takes off. It goes to the location. It hovers from about 200-300 feet in the air and drops down and delivers your package. It spits it out the bottom of the little
Oh,
pod,
right.
and it goes back up and it returns back to home.
Now they also claimed that by the end of 2026, 6 to 7 more stores could join the program.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, Taco Bueno's, or Good Taco in English, is a franchise. Is a franchise, and they plan on expanding their territory. And kudos to them. I looks like it'll work as long as they get enough orders.
You
I'm
had
waiting
to
to
translate it, right?
I'm waiting to hear, Herman, and we haven't found it yet because it's still early in the
Uh-huh.
drone community. But I'm actually waiting to hear of a company that stopped using drone delivery because it wasn't too profitable.
Well,
But it's still early right now. Everyone's still testing and doing logistics, and you know that they're still getting their feet
well,
wet.
well, I'll be honest with you. If there's a company that will probably abandon drone delivery, it would probably be Amazon, because Amazon still wants to use the MK2, and instead of letting an airline that knows how to make a drone make a drone for them. You know,
Yeah,
and I think that that's what's actually hurting them.
yeah.
You know, that honest is it. You know, that's what I think is really hurting them. So I guess if you live in Watauga, Texas, and you're within 3 miles of the Taco Bueno
Or the good taco.
in North Beach, then you can get tacos and all the other good Tex-Mex
And
food.
burritos and
Yeah,
chicharrones and everything else that
house delivered by drone.
yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting to see the first drone delivery here in New York.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Since now you need a waiver to fly over water and shit.
Did you see what happened? They delivered my Tex-Mex and the dog pissed on it.
Oh, could you or the dog ran off with it and I can't catch him.
See the dog with a dipping his paw in the guacamole.
Right? Every time the master reaches for it, he growls at him. Like, you better get away. Get away from there. Well,
Dog ran off with my food.
yeah. Well, it's almost that time, bro. We've made it through another week.
Nah,
Almost.
seems like it.
Huh?
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah. Do you see what Angie said?
Well, it seems like they got a lot more orders going too. Now I've seen 5 drones up at a time. We'll see, Angie. They're going to start coming in and out of there from the time the store opens until closing pretty soon. Watch. They're getting the. It's taking on. It's catching on, Angie. Have you tried to order anything?
You expand it to enough people, then you don't. There's more than one person calling at a time, putting in an order at a time. So that's why you're gonna have multiple drones taking off.
Then it's new tech. So first it's 5, then you'll see them all moving eventually.
At first it probably was like a novelty to see the drone coming in for to deliver your orange juice, and then you let's order it by drone so we can see it come in. Now,
Right.
eventually it'll become almost a regular thing. Within a few
Yeah.
years.
It's just like Uber. Like, I was at my friend's house the other night, and she tells me, go to the door. I was like, why? She's
Uber
like, that
Eats.
someone dropped off a package. It was Uber. It was Carvel. I didn't know, but she ordered Carvel ice cream for dessert.
How does
And
that work?
it dropped. No, he dropped it at the door. But
Right,
I'm
but how
saying
does-
it'll be like that with delivery drones. Go in the backyard and get the package. It won't be a novelty anymore because you don't need to stand there and watch it. For the first few times you might, Herman, but after a while, you're like, the drone's here. Let me go get my stuff.
You know what?
Any plans for a summer meetup?
We could actually do that. I don't know about it being an actual big event because New York is really like not really the place for that because it would have to be designated to a freer where you didn't have to where actual people could fly without having to be harassed. Anything in any other location outside of a freer location here in New York, you have to be Part 107 and have a permit to do such. So yeah, that's something that could be possibly done. That's not a problem. But I really, honestly, now I see CT Pirate in here. Everybody's got to get out to east to the Connecticut to that meetup coming up later.
Rhode Island. Rhode Island, they're having a
Rhode
meetup
Island,
next,
Rhode
right?
Island. Yeah.
Yeah, Rhode Island's having a meetup. As they had asked if we were going to come, and we're like, well,
You're
it's
right
football
there. So
season.
be
We'll
there.
try. We'll be there.
As
We may
long
be a
as
little
it's not on the
tired. but-
game day, we'll be there.
Right. As long as it's not on a game day, that's true. Because I will not. Wow, it's really coming down.
Yeah, a little bit.
They weren't playing. No, the sky is dark. Birds are ducking for cover, and you can barely see.
September 11th to the 13th. Wow. Okay.
September 11th to the 13th.
That's an interesting
CT
day,
Pirate.
September
Hey,
11th.
Hey, CT. Welcome. 11th to the 13th. I'm going to look on the calendar right now.
Yeah, that
until
doesn't mean
let's
anything. The
see.
11th is a Friday, which is where days that we play our games.
Yeah, on a Friday or randomly
Most
Saturday.
of our games are on Fridays.
Yeah, Friday the 11th. So we would have to do like
We'll see
last
what's
year,
going
go to the
on.
game, go home, get 3 hours sleep, and then get up and go to the meetup on Saturday.
Because that's like what Gary was asking about coming up to Connecticut. Well, not to Connecticut. I keep
To
saying
Canada.
To Canada for the 19th. The 19th is my birthday, which is kind of rough getting out anywhere because our games are on either that Friday or that Saturday. Usually the Friday.
Uh-huh.
You know, and Canada is not right around the corner where we jump in the car and drive 10 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, and we're there. That's like a planning thing. Now, I'm trying to make something, but I know that Rhode Island is right there, and Rhode Island is, you know, you can do that without thinking about it. Lawrence,
Yeah.
anything before we get out of here?
No, that's it. It's time. Let's get the hell out of here. And no, be safe, fly safer, guys.
Okay. That's it. Okay. Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank you guys all for coming and hanging out with us. It was a nice evening. Now that the rain is coming down, it's probably going to cool off a little bit. And it's really
Probably. It's raining so hard, bro. I can barely see 4 blocks.
But like I said, thank you guys for all coming and hanging out with us. We really appreciate you coming back every week and coming and hanging out with us and sharing some of the stories that we share with you guys and our opinions and thoughts on things. And you guys actually sharing your opinions and your thoughts in the chat. And with that being said, and I'll see you next time with those guys.
Enjoy that Craig, CT.
Good night,
He says he's
everyone.
pouring some Elijah Craig now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got some too. Barrel
Yeah.
strength.
We gotta get together, CT.
And I'll see you next time, guys. Good night, everyone.
Bye. Be safe. Fly safer.